Hi guys, welcome to my live watch along for the Russian Grand Prix, round 10 of the FIA Formula One World Championship, where they're just playing the national anthem as the drivers line up in front as they begin to start the Grand Prix. Latest news in the world of Formula One. Chase Kearney is now going to be non-executive chairman of the Formula One. And the new CEO, chairman of Formula One, will be Stefano Domenicali. And further news is that Hamilton is now under investigation again. He was under investigation in qualifying after missing the chicane, but was cleared and has got to keep his pole position. But on the way to the grid, he has done a practice start, which could be considered out the designated area and in a dangerous place, which could mean that he ends up with a penalty before this race has even started. So we'll wait to hear more on that, and I'll give the news to you as soon as we hear it. But yeah, drivers now getting prepared, ready about to get in the cars and go racing. Let me know what your thoughts are for this Grand Prix. How do you see Turn 1 being? Obviously, Turn 1 in Sochi is very long drag from the start grid to basically, well, not Turn 1, but the first proper turn, where you go through the chicane. It's quite a long way flat out, which gives the drivers behind the advantage to the pole sitter, as they can get on this slipstream and out drag the pole sitter. So pole position is probably not the most desired place here in Russia. Max Verstappen's second with Bottas third would be the preferred positions if it was me. But it depends how it's played out. I'm sure Mercedes would have probably had a debrief beforehand where they will not give the advantage to Verstappen and make sure the slipstream of Hamilton will be given to Bottas and give Bottas a chance to get in front of Verstappen, and thereby they can help control the race. So, but yeah, race kicks off at about 10 past 12, which will be the start of the formation lap, obviously. And yeah, so in talking about the changes at the top of Formula One, there was consideration of Toto Wolff being considered as the new CEO of Formula One, but apparently it turned out that the talks were broken down because if that was to happen, Ferrari would have vetoed the decision, and it's very surprising as we just see a replay of Hamilton doing a practice start. Doing the practice start outside the designated area. So we'll wait to see what happens on that. And we're joined with Marcus. How are you? How are you?
I'm good.
I'm
good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I left just for a sec. I need to get myself
That's
sorted.
fine. But so they just showed another replay of the practice start incident. So, but depends how they're going to how they implement the letter of the law.
To be honest, I would rather that he just got this Schumacher record over and done with. Like, just beat him today. I don't really care about the penalty. He'll probably win the race anyway.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Hamilton wins this Grand Prix, he equals the record, but then we'll have to wait to see the next weekend if he can beat the record.
We'll have to wait.
Then
He's going to beat every record of his. We already know this.
yeah, I struggle. It'd be very, very shocking if he doesn't.
It's just rubbing salt into the wound at this point.
Yeah, I mean, but it's again, he's every year being the most consistent driver on the grid, and in a season like in a very long season like we have now in Formula One, it's vital to be consistent.
I think that over one lap. If you just look at
But well,
I was just going to say Hamilton's faster over one lap.
yeah, I think it's a toss up between him and Verstappen, to be honest. But I think the difference being Hamilton's got that maturity compared to Verstappen. He's got the experience. So, but yeah, all drivers now strapped into their cars. But also, there's another factor to consider in this Grand Prix is that Hamilton's on the softest tyre available, whilst the driver, his competitors around him are on the more optimum tyre.
Yes,
so,
because Verstappen was clever and did medium in Q2.
Yeah, everyone did medium in Q2, but unfortunately, hang on. Right, well, the team thought it was okay from where he stopped, but there you go. But yeah, he's on the softest tyre while all the other drivers were around him on the medium tyre, and that's because after Vettel's accident in qualifying in Q2, it left him literally very little time, literally half a second to cross the line and start a lap. And because under that pressure, they had to put him on the softest tyre, which obviously has meant that he's got to be very careful with his strategy here. If he pushes too hard, he'll destroy the tyres and he would have to pit again later on in the Grand Prix. And if he pushes too slowly, if he goes too slowly, right, he could end up pitting and end up in traffic. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Maurice Javid says, love F1. Yeah. I mean, I think this season's been, to be honest, the fact that we nearly didn't have a season, the fact we've had now 10 races, right, it's been more, but yeah, I think this season's been full of drama. Murray's another comment. Stephen, I wish the Arsenal Liverpool game was today, but the F1 is exciting. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's on I'm glad it's on a Monday night because, in terms of the F1, because you get to do both the F1 and the Liverpool game. But in the same token, if I'm just looking at a football side of view, the fact we've got to play Liverpool on Monday, then we've got to play them on the Thursday evening in the cup, which is not going to be helpful. But the EFL Cup game last season in between the two sides was just as thrilling as like the Grand Prix Mugello. So, but yeah, give me your predictions. Who's going to win this Grand Prix? Let me know in the comments below. Right, and here's the link if you want to join. Plus, hang on a sec. Plus, could we, anyone in the chat, please share this link out. We've raised £631 so far for Children's Liver Disease Foundation, trying to reach £1,000 in total. So any little money you can spare, please support this wonderful cause and help save kids' lives and give them better treatment as well as respite. It would actually mean the world to not just myself but the charity as well. So yeah, and share it out to everyone, as well as all the channel links, and you've got my social links in the description as well if you want to get in touch. But they're just showing the starting grid now. Hamilton on pole, Verstappen second, Bottas third, Perez fourth, Ricciardo fifth, Sainz sixth, Ocon seventh, Norris eighth, Gasly ninth, Leclerc 10th, Kvyat 11th, Stroll 12th, Russell 13th, Vettel 14th, Alex Albon 15th after a penalty, Grosjean 16th, Giovinazzi 17th, Magnussen 18th, and at the back of the grid, Raikkonen 19th, and Latifi, after taking a penalty, starts 20th. So that's your grid lineup. We're still waiting to hear whether there'll be a penalty for Hamilton for starting in the wrong area. Hello?
There's not even me point speaking, my internet's so bad.
It's always when technology wants to work, you want it to work, it never does.
Yep. My prediction is Hamilton wins.
That's if he doesn't get the penalty.
No, he'll win with the penalty.
He'll win with the penalty. Wow.
And if not, Verstappen, because he'll get the toe into turn one.
Yeah, that's the key thing for Verstappen. I think the first Verstappen, what he needs to do is make sure he gets behind Hamilton first. Whoever gets behind Hamilton first off the start will get the slipstream. And I'm sure Mercedes have probably said already, Bottas, get behind Hamilton. Hamilton will give you the slipstream.
Yeah.
Like, they've done that before.
Number two driver.
Yeah, so that way they've got a pair of them into turn one, first and second, and then they can control the race. right? So this is that'll be the critical factor.
Bottas has got to do well this year.
Yeah, I think he's done reasonably well this year, to be honest. It's just and I still he's a very good driver. He's been a very good consistent driver, but he's just not been able to yeah, but he's just unfortunately Hamilton's just a better driver.
Or
Right?
are they both really bad and it's just the car?
Well, you look at Rosberg. I mean, Rosberg, yeah, he won World Championship, but right, I will say in this, Bottas had a lot of luck with Hamilton's reliability issues that season.
What, Rosberg?
Yeah, and in Austria, I don't care what anyone says, he drove into it.
Yeah, interesting. I heard the other day that Rosberg's dad, even though he's world championship, the year he was world champion, he won one race.
Yeah.
Not world champion. There are world champions, and then there's world champions. Like, you have, like, Alonso, he's a world champion, a proper, but, like, Rosberg wasn't even that good a driver, so I'd classify him as world champion, but just because he got on Hamilton's nerve is the only reason he won.
I mean, the final race summed it up for me. The final race really just summed up what was about Rosberg. Right? Okay, Hamilton's too slow. Get him to move out the way. We'll get him to speed up. Well, if he's too slow, overtake him. That's the whole point. Right? If he was that slow, right? If Hamilton was that slow, and he knew he was being that slow, because he had to get 2 cars in front of Rosberg, right? Then overtake him and win the race. As simple as that. Right? And whenever there was in terms of strategy, if Hamilton did something different, Rosberg will start moaning about it. So whenever Rosberg went in, Hamilton would have to come in the lap after, and the other way around. So there was never any sort of interesting strategy battles.
Yeah. I mean,
But
Mercedes just
2016 in Austria, he just drove straight on and went into him. I don't care what anyone says. Right?
okay. You're very passionate about Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, I am very passionate about Lewis Hamilton, but I will sit there and say if Hamilton's done wrong.
Yeah. I mean, for me,
But unfortunately, Hamilton had to turn in at some point, and he was already on. But the race has started, sorry, and it's a good start. And Mercedes doing exactly what I thought they would. Bottas getting the slipstream of Hamilton. Hamilton's had a really good start. Bottas is going to be side by side with Lewis Hamilton. He has to go wide. Hamilton keeps the lead. Bottas second. Whoa, there's a massive accident around the back. Right, Verstappen had to go through the bollards, and he's lost the place because of it to Daniel Ricciardo. And there's another shunt. There's another shunt with a Racing Point in the wall. That'll be a safety car for sure.
What is it with these last few weeks?
Funny. In terms of the bollards, if you miss turn 2, there's no bollards anymore to go through.
This is dumb because can we
not
have a clean race?
Verstappen's retaken the place from Ricciardo, and Ricciardo's now dropped back behind Ocon, and it's a safety car.
Can we just have a clean race for once? This is dumb. No, this is dumb. It's the point where when it's normal to have a crash, it's boring. I want to see
this shows to everyone who drives in the world why you should not race each other.
Yeah, but I want Verstappen to do well, and the only reason he doesn't do well is because there's crashes every 2 seconds.
I'm
annoying.
sorry, you can't leave. That's no excuse. That's no excuse. I'm sorry.
No, no. Oh, honestly.
Otherwise, I could have. But yeah, there's a crash at turn 2. There's a crash at turn on the straights between turns 4 and 5, I
How
believe.
was there not a crash at turn 1? It's the most
No,
dumb
turn
thing.
1's because turn 1's technically not a corner.
Yeah, I know, but there's always a crash there.
But the first proper corner is that chicane. Like turn
Yeah,
1
but
is not an actual corner, really. It's just a kink.
turn 2 isn't really a chicane. It's just
Well, yeah,
it's a
it's one.
it's a right corner and then you curve left.
Yeah,
It's not really a chicane. But I get your point. And I think Verstappen would
but
have won every race if
hang
there
on.
wasn't a crash.
Verstappen's pitting.
Hard compound?
No, Albon's pitting. Sorry, so he must have damage, obviously. Sorry, I read that wrong.
Good.
Norris with a very, very slow stop. He's obviously got damage as well. Russell must have had damage because he's pitted as well.
You could just go for a really hard compound of tyre and see how far you could go. I know it's still like 50 something.
Well, 2014, when they didn't have any race data, they bought 2 hard compounds. So when Rosberg went in at lap 1, he did it all the way to the end. But as we see a replay at the start, as expected, Mercedes tactically working as a team to keep in front of Verstappen.
Yes,
Verstappen
but
then gets
Lewis is
round
on the
the outside of
softs.
Hamilton. Looks like he's back to gain the slot, breaks deeper, but lack of grip on the curbs meant that Hamilton got the advantage back through turn 4.
But and he's on the softs still. Surely Bottas can get this because he's on the mediums, right, Bottas?
Yeah.
Bottas on? Yeah. This is going to be easy for Bottas or Verstappen to win because he's on the worst compound of tyre. If Verstappen can be fast on the mediums, and then because even though if it's a one stop and Hamilton goes on the hards, and they're both on the hards, Hamilton's hards are going to be very bad at the end of the race.
Yeah, so I do think Mercedes will work together to try and keep control of Verstappen.
Some sort of undercut, overcut, whatever it is.
I do think that Bottas will be used to try and tactically in front. Whoa, Carlos Sainz had his own accident because he avoided it. He drank deep, right? Went off, had to go through the bollards, but went in at the wrong angle. The bollards were so tight that he caught the edge of the wall.
Do you remember that crash he had a few years ago at Russia?
What's that?
Do you remember that crash he had a few years ago at Russia?
Oh, Kvyat and Vettel.
No. This Carlos Sainz crash when he was at Red Bull or Toro Rosso.
Oh yeah.
When he went against the wall and he just smacked. Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah. That was in practice.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Crash. I mean, I thought this would be a boring race. I kind of hoped it would be. Like no crashes. But it's kind of... I just want a normal race. I want to...
This is the whole point of it.
Yeah, but in the last, I think this season's, I've watched more than I ever have of F1. And, I've had, a good race every single race.
Because we're all in lockdown, there's nothing else to do.
Very boring. Extremely boring.
It's because we're all in lockdown, that's why we're all watching it, right? It's because there's nothing else to do all day.
I mean, I've always, I just want a normal race.
What I don't get, I've just seen that Science accident again. Science at the angle was going had no chance of being able to go through those bollards and stay out the wall. So why make those bollards so bloody tight to the wall? Right? Because if he doesn't do the bollards, he gets a penalty anyway. So why?
So annoying.
That's just not. I guess he's and Latifi at the minute has got the fastest lap.
Of course he has.
Latifi in the Williams has the fastest lap at the minute.
Yeah, but it's been under a safety car, so it doesn't really matter. Just because he's at the back of the grid, isn't he?
Yeah, I think you probably had the most clear air before the safety car came out.
Yeah, exactly. So be slow, get you the fastest.
Oi, give Williams the satisfaction for a minute.
If
They've had struggles.
Yeah, but imagine this. It started raining, right? So no one could go faster than that lap.
Don't.
Yeah,
Well, I
imagine.
don't know. Maybe under the safety car, there would probably still be faster in the wet than under a safety car. But
Okay, fine. But you get my point.
yeah.
If it was like torrential or like wet tires.
Well, correct. No, to be honest, correct that one. Verstappen's now got the fastest lap. No, Gasly, and the clerk.
How has the Ferrari got the fastest lap?
Now Grosjean. And I think
Is that
that's it.
Haas's first point? No, they did it at Hungary, didn't they?
Well, they are 9th and 10th. If the race was to stop now.
Haas or Ferrari?
No, Grosjean in the Haas is the fastest lap at the minute.
Yeah, where is he though? On grid?
10th.
How? I swear they're slower than the Williams.
Haas are sort of. It's the 2016. They were very and 2017.
Maybe even 18, really.
At even 18, they were very, very good. But the last 2 years, they've struggled in qualifying.
Rich energy.
Like 19, in 2019, in a single quali lap, they'll get 5th and 6th every time. Most of the time.
Or if they had better drivers, they might even.
But unfortunately, the car is like Mercedes in 2013. They were brilliant in qualifying, but they couldn't look after the tyres during a race.
They can't look after the tyres now, really. Especially when they're not in clean air. Like the Mercedes built to just dominate.
No, that was back in 2013 when Red Bull were all dominant. It was in the V8 era.
I honestly, that V8 era. I know you might be like V10s. Oh my god, they sounded amazing. But
V10.
V8 era, for the way the cars looked. Oh, that high nose, the skinny rear wings. Oh, it looks so good.
The high nose I weren't too keen with, to be honest. I grew up with Schumacher in the V10 era, right? And I loved that era.
I don't think they look good at all.
Like I think they looked okay, to be honest.
I mean, they weren't bad, but as well as that, the Ferrari, like the F2004, had hardly any sponsors on it. It was just red paint.
They did have their title sponsor was Marlboro cigarettes.
Yeah.
So it meant in most races they couldn't advertise it.
Yeah, no, I know, that's what I mean. That's why they had hardly any sponsors.
They usually just covered it in either plain red or white stripes.
Yeah. But anyway.
Same as like Renault, instead of Mild 7, they'd have Team Spirit on their car. And yeah.
And McLaren's thing as
wouldn't
well.
have wouldn't have West. They'd be plain.
Yeah. No, I just think cars look so good. I like the high nose. It was practical as well.
I wasn't keen on a high nose before, to be honest. But
I wish they brought it back.
I think they should just keep it. Look, like for me, I think the cars are okay now. Just put a V10 here on. Just put a V10 engine in it.
Honestly, I think. Well, what sounds better, V10 or a V12?
V12 was before my era, but V10.
I mean, the reason why I think V10 would be, I prefer V12s, but I think V10 sound a bit better because V12s are too high pitched.
And it's there's someone in the background there, but he's gone. Yeah, so we're on that 5 at the minute. Safety car still out. I think the only problem we have with this the new like innovative wall, and we saw it, and I saw it in F2, is that if it breaks, it takes frigging ages to repair it.
What, the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that in
You know where you hit an
Monza.
Armco or concrete? You like concrete and Armco, it's not going to break. Right? Where if you hit these walls, right, it's like like the polystyrene you get in a box.
Yeah.
Right, to protect China or something.
Yeah.
It just splits everywhere. And Hamilton, saying that, safety car's now ended. Right, I'm so far behind, it's unreal. Right, Hamilton's already bolted and he has got a good gap to Bottas. Right, now the key to his strategy, those laps under the safety car will help his strategy on the soft tyre. But here comes the key part of the race now. What Hamilton's going to do? He's going to bolt, or is he going to try and manage the pace? Whether Vettel's trying now make his way through the field from 13th on the grid, Giovinazzi in front of him. So Hamilton leads with Bottas second, Verstappen third, Ocon fourth, Ricciardo fifth. Great start from Renault. Perez down in sixth after a promising start to the promising grid position. Gasly seventh, Leclerc eighth, Magnussen ninth. Grosjean, that's your top 10. Norris at the minute with the fastest lap, but I'm sure that's going to change very soon. And they're just saying again about the DAS system, definitely helping Mercedes again in the safety car. But there's still no reports on the investigation on Hamilton before the start of the race. But he is ahead by 1.4 seconds at the minute. And Hamilton does set the fastest lap. And he is 7/10 quicker by a long way. So he's bolted at the start.
If I was Hamilton,
and actually, he's just been Hamilton's been given a 5-second penalty.
Yes, and yes.
Why did he have to frigging start after a practice start, right? In a non-designated area? Why? What was the point? Right?
They might be doing it on purpose to make the car look even better than it is.
No, I just don't get it. So that's why he's bolting. He's been given another one.
Maybe it's a glitch. Like Sky.
Why has he been given 2 separate violations? He's only done it once.
Maybe it's just Sky doing an accident, like putting it up twice.
No, it's come from race control themselves.
Oh. Well, I'm happy because I hate Lewis Hamilton being so dominant, but I get your point. I mean, it's not really fair.
What's the... So he's now got a 10-second penalty.
Yeah.
Which he's got to...
He's got to serve in the pit, which
So
means
he's got to serve a 10-second penalty.
the undercut won't work, or whatever Mercedes are trying to do.
Yeah, so he's
going
to have to try and bolt. If he wants any sort of result, or the team want a good result for the team, Bottas would have to control the pace while Hamilton bolts.
That risks it getting an overtake by Bottas, like Verstappen overtaking Bottas or something.
Well, at the minute, Hamilton's gained 3.1 seconds on Verstappen.
To be honest, you know Verstappen's all about controlling his tyres.
Yeah.
Do you know what'd be interesting if they put, I think in F2.
But then so's to be honest, then so's Hamilton most of the time. Right, Hamilton most of the time has been very good with that.
Okay. But no, if you look at F2, they, no one's as good as Checo with tyres, but in F2, you can't make a mandatory pit stop underneath the safety car, under the safety car, which is a good rule, and I think it'd be interesting.
There is a reason why Verstappen's falling back. Right, he's reporting no rear grip.
Yay! Oh, honestly, I hate. Like the Red Bull have come into so many problems this year. Like I know reliability is obviously like important.
Oh, the reliability, I'm sorry, compared to what Renault was a lot better.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying.
Grant, how nice to see you. How has the F1 been so far? I'm watching the Rangers game. F1, Hamilton's leading, but he's been given 2 5-second penalties for practice start violations, not doing the practice start in a designated area, in sort of a dangerous area before the start of the Grand Prix. So he's been given a 10-second penalty, which he will have to serve in the pits. There's been an accident at turn 2 with Sainz missing a chicane and catching the wall as he comes back on the circuit. Then there's also an incident with Stroll where he was tagged and put in the wall. And now it's whether, if Hamilton can build this gap to try and null the effect of the 10-second penalty.
I'm just about to get the F1 up for myself.
Yeah.
So I can watch it. Sainz and Stroll have both DNF'd. Both the Renaults are looking really good.
Yeah, they do. Right, but unfortunately, Hamilton isn't pulling the gap at the minute. Adding the intervals together, he's only 2.5, 2.6 ahead of Verstappen. Only a further 4.8 seconds to Ocon. This is really going to destroy Hamilton's race here, these penalties, which you'll have to serve in the pit.
Could this mean Renault podium or even double Renault podium?
It could be a Renault podium.
I'd rather
I think one of them could get on the podium.
Verstappen win. I'd rather that than Verstappen win.
But Bottas will take over the lead.
I would rather it be Ocon or anyway double podium for Renault and Verstappen out and Hamilton missing out because of his penalty and Verstappen win or something. I just want to see Renault
really
do
winds
well.
me up because why do you do that? Why? Why can't you just do it where everyone else has done? Right? I mean, seriously. I don't get it. Why have you got to do that? Why, Hamilton, have you got to do that?
What lap are you on?
12.
I'm on 11. What turn are you on?
Well, I'm on the start of lap 12.
Okay, you're a bit in front of me. It's fine.
Yeah, the app will probably mean you're a bit behind the actual live race.
Oh, Bottas gained in lap 9. Yeah, this is going to be close. Bottas even faster. Bottas is catching up quite a bit.
Yeah, because the soft tyres are not going to last.
They don't even last lap 10.
The soft strategy has already been opened on this lap.
Yeah, you'd pit even if it wasn't a safety car, like a lap 10 or something.
Like closing the gap to Lewis. Why can't I don't get it. If Hamilton's got such a big penalty,
just
right?
box.
Why don't you let Bottas sort of hold the back up a bit so it lulls the effect a little, so you get a decent team result in the end? Because Bottas is still gonna try end up winning the race.
I think Bottas just wants to he's finally realised.
Yeah, I get that but it's not like they haven't done it before.
He's better than Verstappen. He has more of a chance than Verstappen.
Because in the end, it's a team result as well.
I was saying
because Bottas in the end is going to win the Grand Prix anyway.
Is he though? I mean, how many? I think would be his 9th win, wouldn't it, Bottas? 9th or 8th win. He hasn't won many races, has he?
I think so. He won
Austria.
Australia
last year. Russia before.
Russia before?
Yeah, he won in like 2017. He won Russia.
2017, he was his
He should have
first.
won in 2018.
Yeah,
But he didn't.
2017 he won. 2018 he
Pole. He got pole.
yeah, but he had to let Hamilton through for the championship.
Yep.
Um,
So he should have won that.
yeah.
It's a very good track. It's a very good track for Bottas. Oh, Bottas is nearly a second, maybe
Yeah,
5
because
off.
they're just showing Hamilton's tyres. They are screwed.
Yep. And
Oh,
on lap 13, beginning of lap 13.
Why? Why? Why?
What happened?
Why? Just why have you got to fuck it up before you even start? Fuck's sake.
What's happened?
I'm just pissed off because why? Either Mercedes have decided to do it or Hamilton's decided to do it. Do it in a place where it's fucking dangerous. I'm really pissed off he's had to do that. Why could he just do the practice start where everyone else was doing it? Why? Because now you've just lost this Grand Prix before you even do one lap.
Absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying. Excuse my language. That's always Mum's theory. Ugh! Well, he's 3.6. He's 6.6 on Ocon. He'll be ahead of Gasly, right? When Gasly stops. So, when Gasly stops afterwards, when it all works out, he'll be ahead of Gasly because he's 12 seconds ahead of him. So that would be 7th.
Odds on for a Ferrari win?
Because he decides to do a practice start in the pit exit.
Sector.
No, I don't get it. I want to find out who's made that decision. I really do, whether it was Hamilton's or Mercedes.
Look, I mean, I know it doesn't really matter because, mistakes are kind of just... Oh, Hamilton's gone purple.
Hamilton's just gone fast. He's bolting now. He's using what's left of him. He's going to be boxing. That means he's going to be boxing soon if he's bolting like that.
Yeah, but they just came up with the pit guys and...
Yeah, they're preparing by warming their tyres up.
Yeah.
So they've plugged the tyres in to warm them up. But now he's got fastest lap again after the last lap. That means he's using what's left.
Would you know what would be
They
interesting?
basically said you're boxing in the next 2 laps. Use whatever you've got.
Is it the Nürburgring next week? Well, the Nürburgring.
I don't know. I wish it is. I hope it is.
Well, I think it's obviously the full Nordschleife, but it's the Grand Prix circuit.
Oh, Jesus, no, it wouldn't be the Nordschleife. The suspension wouldn't take it.
Oh, God, no.
Right, ask Nicky Lauda.
Definitely not in the rain.
Well, yeah, even then, the suspension on his car didn't make the second lap, did it?
Sorry, the second lap's like so far, though, in that circuit, it doesn't even matter.
Oh, you only need about like 10 laps to get 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, I think, in modern day cars,
and Hamilton's gone fastest again.
Back then, it'd probably be like, what, a 10-minute lap?
It's this one.
Nicky Lauda's day, it might be 10 minutes.
Today's cars, it'd probably be about 8 minutes.
Oh, no, because the record's like in the 9... I guess they're not set up for the Nordschleife, but it would be something like...
The cars couldn't physically take
7.5.
You take off 13 times.
Because
they're going so... And those were in cars that weren't as fast. So you imagine today's cars, right? Yeah, they would literally be about 10 foot off the air in some places.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually because they're so fast at accelerating, that would make them slower.
No, because there's always one idiot that goes flat out. You just can. That was why after 76 it was reconsidered. And that's why now we have the short section. But the short one I love, right? And actually, anyone in the comments below, put us down. What's your favourite circuit, right? Not favourite Grand Prix, right? Your favourite out and out F1 circuit in the history of Formula One, as Hamilton now bolts into the pits.
I think that I think the fastest time by
this is gonna be. So we gotta wait 10 seconds. But and he's done. Go, 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 go.
.5 minutes 19 is the fastest ever lap around the Nordschleife.
He's gonna come out in front of Ricciardo. He's gonna work really well here. He's got in front of Ricciardo. So anyone who was in front of Daniel Ricciardo or behind Daniel Ricciardo is going to end up behind Lewis Hamilton. So that puts him around about 4th.
I'm seeing the pit now, so
this will put him around about 4th position. And he can go to the end of the race.
With those hard compound tyres.
On those hard, yeah. But if there's anyone that can manage hard compound tyres, right, around a circuit that's always usually been very good on degradation, it is Lewis Hamilton.
So I just said that the fastest lap around the full Nürburgring is 5 minutes 19. So I think.
Yeah, but that's in a normal car. We're talking about an F1.
No. 5 minutes 19 is in the Porsche Le Mans winning car.
But yeah, I do think in the if it was an F1 car, if they actually get round the lap, it would be a lot quicker. It'd probably be about a 5 minute dead, something like that.
Yeah, so
maybe even break
the record. Oh, that would be incredible, but we'll never see it, unfortunately. Maybe so if Mercedes stop F1.
So Hamilton now closing down Sebastian Vettel in 10th. But obviously, with him stopping, he has got to get past these drivers and keep a level of pace going if he's going to try and get Ocon as well behind him. But Verstappen's dropped back to 4.4 seconds now behind Bottas. Bottas is probably going to now put his feet up and go for a Sunday drive. Right. Right, I think he can now sit down and have a cup of tea and read a newspaper while this is going on. Because Verstappen's have no answer. He's constantly losing time to him. And just to confirm that, Bottas has gone fastest.
Yeah,
with a lap of 1:39.3.
He looks fast.
But Ocon's in the pit. Ocon's pitting now. Will Ocon get in front of Lewis Hamilton as Lewis Hamilton closes down?
I think
not going to. I do think Hamilton's going to get him. Yeah, he's got him. And Hamilton gets past Vettel for good measure as well. So He is ahead of Ocon. He is ahead of Ricciardo. He is ahead of Sebastian Vettel. That means by the end of the race, he should come at least on the podium. Stephen, how is Prime feeling about the Chelsea result? I don't know. You may have to speak to him. You can always contact him on Twitter. We've also got radio speaker. Hello, how are you? Hello? Okay. By the way, if anyone does want to have their join in the show, the link's in the description. There's also in the chat. There's the link there. Right, come and join us. Right. As it's another, as it turns out to be another race with penalty dramas in it.
They're running a lot of Canberra, whatever it is, Canberra. Yeah. Anyway, I can't speak, but Canberra. Anyway.
No, it's Canberra. CAMBER.
Okay. I know. Okay. Well, I'm never gonna say it correctly. Anyway, they're running a lot of that because it's that kind long corners.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure the wheels are straight going for the corner, I guess. But.
Yeah, they want to get good. They want to try and reduce the.
Where?
Yeah, if you add more camber, it can produce excessive loads on the tyre. But you need also that to try and get around the corners because you try and because of that really long straight, you don't want too much downforce.
Have you seen
You've got two long straights.
Have you seen the Renault? It's got Russian sponsors on. Well,
right.
I think that's Ocon going for a move on the Vettel. Obviously, you're in front of me, so.
Yeah.
If I was Verstappen, I'd try and pit as soon as possible. Just push and then pit.
Just sending some.
Leclerc is on the podium.
Yeah. I don't think it'll last. Obviously, people making their stops at the minute. But Hamilton
of course,
up to
it will
fifth.
do well. Problem with Ferrari is all of their money, well, most of it, comes from just like people buying stuff, like hats and stuff. And if they're not doing well, people aren't going to buy them, are they?
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. But Ferrari, to be honest, they're always going to get people that are going to buy their stuff. Because obviously it's the most successful team in Formula One. They've got a massive fan base. It's like Man United at the minute. They're not the best team in the league at the minute. And there's a lot of problems there. But they will still sell tons of merchandise because they are the biggest club in England, right? And you can argue that against Liverpool, because yes, Liverpool won more trophies and that, right, one more trophy than them, but and that's another team as well. But the difference with Liverpool is they are the top team in a minute. But like Ferrari at the minute are like Man United, where they're not doing well, or is what they used to be. But they have that fan base that will sell tons of their merchandise. But I mean, Man United, to be honest, yesterday they were bloody lucky to get all 3 points. And I felt sorry for Brighton, as much as I don't like Morpay and everything like that. But Brighton should have beaten them comfortably, and West Brom should have beaten Chelsea. But Man United, and this is what I've said, like they're all focusing about Sancho, and all the fans are getting angry that the fact that they haven't sent Sancho, this deal hasn't gone through. But I don't think Sancho is the complete answer. Hamilton, they need to get a defender and left back replacement as well, before focusing on getting Sancho, right? Because that's not the bloody problem they've got at the minute. If you've got Van der Beek, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Martial on the pitch, and you still can't create chances, then you've got a serious problem. But I'm sorry, their defensive problems are what costed them in a minute. And Sancho ain't going to come in and fix that. And what I fear is if they do get Sancho, I fear for Sancho is that so much pressure to be put on him, because they will expect him to be like some of them expecting that we will get Sancho, he's going to save us all. And that's how it feels to me, like they're acting, that they're going to put too much pressure on him, because it's going to be all about him. And you've got to think about that. Yes, Sancho's a great talent, but he's only 20, 21 years old. Right? He's still got a long way to go still to develop and be a major
if he's fast enough.
But anyway, that's enough of F1 and of football at the minute. Back to the F1. Bottas still with the fastest lap in first, Verstappen second. Leclerc, after some of the pit stops, is now third, but he's yet to make his stop. Kvyat is in fourth and yet to stop, I believe, but he's on the harder tyre. Hamilton, after his pit lane penalties and pit stop, is now fifth, so not too much of an impact. But and he is closing on Verstappen bit by bit. Perez in 6th. Vettel 7th, so no change to his grid position. Whoa! Daniel Ricciardo nearly got taken out. Nearly got taken out by Ocon coming out the pit lane. And they've rejoined. They're now 8th and 9th, the two of them, with Ricciardo ahead of Ocon, and Raikkonen 10th with Albon 11th. So that's your top 11 for the minute. But yeah, Ocon just realised that, like that. Yeah. But also, Ricciardo could be in trouble because he's had to take avoiding action of Ocon coming out the pits. Right? Both taking avoiding action. He's cut across the chicane and he's not gone past the bollard. So he can end up getting a penalty here. Because it says, as the race director, you have to go past the bollards, which now don't exist thanks to Carlos Sainz's accident. But you have to go to that area of the track to come back on. And he hasn't done so. Ooh. But Verstappen has stopped. And he is now 6 seconds ahead of Hamilton. So obviously Red Bull reacting to Hamilton closing Verstappen down, and is now Verstappen is now 4th, which is a net 2nd, and Hamilton 3rd. With the 3rd will be a net 3rd after Kvyat and Leclerc stop as well. But yeah, go on.
I think that if Verstappen fitted the sauce, which obviously he hasn't, he might have been able to make a 2-stop work. But I think that would have been hard to do. So I think this is the right shout, but it was close. Like,
I don't think making it. If he was going to make a 2-stop work, he would have to pit a lot earlier. Because we're halfway through the race now.
No, I know, but if he pitted like 5 laps before,
and to answer to Verstappen, just to answer to Verstappen's stop, the leader has now stopped Bottas, and obviously with a massive gap to Leclerc, that 39-second gap, he has got literally the time to fly to London and then fly back to Sochi. Right, and Verstappen closes down Kvyat and overtakes him for 3rd place. Right, so as I said, Ricciardo now under investigation for failing to follow the race director's instructions, which is to go past the bollards to rejoin the circuits in a safe manner. So, and Ricciardo trying to get past Vettel. Vettel forced wide, but then forces Ricciardo wide. Ricciardo still trying to overtake him, but still can't get past. But I think did Vettel just do the same thing as Ricciardo has done? Not sure. I have to look at that again. But Vettel clearly slower and holding up Ricciardo and Ocon, which is probably why it's so important Hamilton got past him so quickly. Here comes Ricciardo again as they come down to turn 13 and gets through into 7th place. Now has clear air where he can grow a gap, because I'm sure Ricciardo's going to end up getting a penalty the way it's going. And again, Ferrari just struggling. Yes, Leclerc's 2nd, but he's yet to stop. But I would say compared to Spa, they have improved a little bit, but no. But as it's confirmed, Daniel Ricciardo has got a 5-second penalty for
All
not
5
following
seconds.
instructions.
All that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, that's going to compromise his race because he's made his stop as well. So it's just going to be added to his race time at the end of the race. So
I think that's better though, because obviously you don't get dirty air if you make a pit stop. You do your time, and you get someone in front of you.
yeah, it's whatever comes before. So
I mean, it doesn't.
You
really
don't get
matter.
a choice in the matter. You don't. It's not one of those. Well, I don't want to do it in a pit stop. I'll do it at the end. You could, right? You have to do it at the first opportune moment. So, yeah. So Renault, and it's probably Renault's mix-up, to be honest, because maybe Renault should have made Ocon alert a bit more that Ricciardo was coming, and maybe should have let Ricciardo through a lot earlier, because now it's compromised one of their drivers. It's good to see Ocon back in the on the F1 grid.
He's gone through a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a good talent. Obviously, he was dropped by what was Force India at the time.
R.I.P.
Obviously, he had that incident with Verstappen.
Leclerc's pitting.
Yeah, Leclerc's pitted now for 7th. He's now back down to 7th place.
That is
but
hard
behind Ocon. What's that?
Hard compound tyres to the end of the race.
Yeah, it's pretty much everyone, apart from Vettel, Albon, and Russell, who have stopped already but are going to stop again. Yeah.
Slow pit stops today.
What?
Slow pit stops today. Most of them have been over 3 seconds.
Yeah, pit stops have probably been a bit slow today.
A bit hot, maybe that's affected.
Yeah, usually they'd be probably quicker because the pit lane limiter is slower in Russia.
That's a point, actually.
Because it's such a small, tight pit lane.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw Leclerc come out and he looked really slow before he sped out.
Yeah. The pit lane's a lot slower compared to, it's usually 50 mile an hour, whereas it's only 60 kilometers an hour. So it's like 37, something like that, miles an hour.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot slower. Kvyat yet to stop still, and he's holding up Lewis Hamilton.
6 seconds behind, though. 6 or 7 seconds behind now.
Yeah, Hamilton needs to clear Kvyat.
Oh, this. You know what? This is going to be close. No, I think Hamilton will get this. He might even get... No. I think it's a bit too far to say he'll get the win. But you know what? I
Unless there's reliability issues, he's not going to match Schumacher's record this today. I don't think he's going to do it. He'll do it by the end of the season, I'm sure of that.
Not that much of a challenge. Look, he's what?
Wait, if he wins this,
seconds or something.
Bottas has just gone faster in sector 2 as well. So Hamilton's, unless Bottas has an issue, and I think even if Verstappen has an issue, he's not going to be able to. But Kvyat pits. I mean, Hamilton was starting to struggle to overtake Kvyat, so I doubt unless Verstappen and Bottas in front have an issue, he's not going to be able to catch them and pass them. But yeah, Kvyat's in for his stop, switches to the medium tyre.
or it is the Nürburgring next week, and then it's the Portuguese Grand Prix. Can't wait for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Yeah, Portimao. Then USA. Then I think it's Imola. Then Mexico. Then Turkey. Then Bahrain. Then Abu Dhabi. I don't like Mexico.
I like Mexico. I think it's a nice, really good sort of circuit.
I don't like
It's quite weird because you have to run a lot of downforce because of the air.
Yeah, but I don't like that final sector. It's like too tight and twisty. Because you've had like a long curvy,
well, they had to change it because it used to be. Well, no, beforehand it used to be one long last corner. Right, back in '92.
Yeah.
When where it was one last by Mansell.
I think.
But it used to be one. The last corner used to be a long flat out corner.
Yeah, that is.
But obviously, with the rules these days, the safety regulations, they couldn't keep that. So what they've done is, I think, it's really good because having that grandstand with the podium, right, with that podium the way it was last year, I think that's brilliant. Like that podium last year was probably the best podium I've ever seen. Like, especially when like Hamilton was lifted, like standing on top of his car. Right, I think it was absolutely brilliant the way they've done that. Because you can get the fans that are on the circuit as well as the fans in the grandstand. So you get even more fans to watch in front of them, the podium. But yeah, that's another question. Right, like I've said, what's your favourite circuit? What's your favourite sort of like podium, or is there any particular reason why you prefer one circuit to the other? Yeah, what's your favourite circuit? Like maybe not Grand Prix weekend, but it's just like circuit in terms of the way the corners flow or the tight sections. Like, let us know, please. I'd love to know your thoughts on.
My favourite circuit would probably be either Suzuka, or trying to think. What's your favourite circuit?
Me, not Monza. Sorry, it's not Monza. But I do like circuit Monza. Silverstone probably with. I'd say Belgium. Belgium because so you've just gone for a minute there. My favourite circuit would be Belgium, as a circuit, because of the technical. My favourite circuit would be Belgium, Spa.
Yeah. Spa.
It's a real driver's circuit, fast flowing corners.
I'd still say
with a tight section, like famous corners like a Rouge, Courant, Radillon, Blanchimont, like the bus stop chicane. The second one would be Silverstone. And then third would be Suzuka. In terms of circuits. But yeah, anyway, update on lap 34. Bottas first with the fastest lap. 12 seconds behind is Verstappen, who and with Hamilton 10 seconds behind him. Perez 4th, Ricciardo 5th. Leclerc has managed to get himself up to 6th position. So Esteban Ocon, is 7th. Kvyat 8th. We're now watching the battle for 9th between Raikkonen and Gasly. And saying that, Gasly's got the run on Raikkonen, pulls down the inside and breezes past the old Finn. And he's now up to 9th, with Raikkonen now 10th. Further behind is Lando Norris. Magnussen 12th. I think I just saw there. As they show a replay of that move between Gasly and Raikkonen. Pretty easy moves in the end. Especially as Raikkonen's on the hard tyre and Kvyat on the opposite strategy on the medium tyre. Norris is 3 seconds behind Raikkonen in 11th. Magnussen 12th, Grosjean 13th. So another disappointing probably weekend for Haas. Giovinazzi 14th. Albon, a miserable day for him. That has been compromised at the start in 15th. Vettel 16th. Awful. Absolutely awful. Vettel 16th. Then we've got Latifi and Russell 17th and 18th. Stroll out at the first corner. Fifth corner on that one. As well as Sainz hitting the wall as he tried to rejoin the circuit. So, yeah, 18 runners still left in his Grand Prix. Hamilton, if he's going to equal this record, well, simple as this. If he's going to equal Schumacher's record today, Hamilton and Verstappen will have to, Bottas and Verstappen will have to have certain problems with the car.
My internet is so bad. I'm sorry. I keep cutting out.
It's all right. It's fine. Right. It's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing you can do about it in some areas. Some areas are poor. Some. I mean,
Everyone's in lockdown.
When I go, usually once a year, my family, because I live in Suffolk, my auntie, who's about 14 years older than my mum, she's like, because we didn't know our grandparents, she's like a grandparent to us, because she's been so significantly older than my mum. We used to go once a year at least to see her in the summer, and she treated us like grandchildren as we grew up. And yeah, she's her and her husband live in Sussex, and the mast only picks up certain channels on Freeview, so they only get a certain amount of channels.
Oh God.
Yeah. And they won't pay for Sky. They don't need to pay for Sky or anything, right? So they just have Freeview television. So yeah, it's pretty poor.
Kvyat is for once ahead of Gasly.
Yeah.
Probably because it's his home race, but
I think Gasly's been a bit quiet today.
Yeah, 9th place. Ain't too good for him. I think he's a very talented driver. I've said this before.
I think that's why Albon's podium last week was 2 weeks ago. Sorry, was key.
Oh yeah, because
Right.
oh yeah, No.
I mean, to be honest, Albon, it's not really been his fault why he hasn't got a podium earlier, to be honest. Right,
Yeah,
in all fairness.
I get that. But
Because both times I would quite openly admit that's Hamilton's fault.
Hamilton, yeah.
Right, and that's the thing.
What?
Yes, I'm biased towards Hamilton, but I can sit there and say that's his fault. Right, he's done wrong.
Oh, is that Kimi who just had a bad pit stop? Or Gio?
Yeah, no, it was Raikkonen.
Oh, Kimi got
Number
right.
7, wasn't it? Because now Raikkonen's down in 16th behind Vettel on a medium tyre. But should make some places back up,
What
being
is
on the
the best?
tyre.
What do you think? Oh, Giovinazzi's ahead of a Ferrari. He's ahead of a Ferrari. Oh my god.
To be honest, this season I'm not surprised if anyone's behind in front of a Ferrari.
But
I would be surprised if a Williams is ahead of Ferrari.
Leclerc is in 6th place. I've never been so happy for Ferrari to be in 6th place. What do you think? If you could pick to change your name to any of the drivers' names, what would you pick? Like a cool sounding name from the drivers, like
From the drivers?
Yeah, like a cool sounding name. Who do you think has the best name?
Obviously Hamilton's one because you got like Hammer Time. Which is
apart from that.
Apart from that one, I would go.
Yeah, but when you've got Max Verstappen, you've got maximum setting. Or is that? Yeah, you've got like you can make names up with any of them.
Russell up the field. Could be one.
That was so bad.
No, it was bad.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Bottas, bottle it.
Yeah.
Gasly,
Perez,
Gasly, like that is.
Yeah, but Gasly, gasoline. Get off. Sorry.
The name's Alex Albon.
Alexander the Great. Castle on it. Lovely.
Should I have a Pepsi or a Coke?
Coke. Right, Pepsi,
Like Pepsi.
sorry, you're not good enough. Get out of here.
I'm gonna have a Pepsi to annoy
you. Yeah, you would.
No, I'll have a Coke.
Nah, anyone that says they can't taste the difference, you need to get out.
Yeah,
right? They said
so easy.
Oh, do you know what? That Pepsi advert, they said they can't taste either taste the difference or they taste Pepsi's better. Don't get them, right? Or they said no, the Pepsi Max one, where they say they can't taste the difference because there's no sugar. They must be deluded, or they got like shit taste buds. I could always tell the difference when Coke or Pepsi's got no sugar in it.
Well, there's more of a difference between the Diet Coke and the Coke Pepsi and Pepsi Max.
Pepsi Max, Coca Zero, and Diet Coke. What I don't get is, right, Diet Coke and Coke Zero, right? They say they're both same things. No sugar, less calories. Right? So, if that's the case, why make two products of the same thing?
Yeah, but I guess, but
Unless
no, that is fair.
Unless they've done that as a marketing ploy to show people you can have a sugarless Coke, right, without looking like you need to be on a diet. I don't know, but there you go.
Just give me a second to make the most beautiful sound ever.
Oh, cheers to that.
Cheers. Oh, such a good sound.
That and pouring it in a glass.
Sorry?
That and pouring it into a glass.
Yeah, I never really pour it into a glass.
Only time I'd ever have ice, and I'd only put one ice cube in it, is when it's baking hot. Because I hate putting ice in it, it makes it flat.
Ice in it, it's just, ugh. I don't forget, that's a point. Pepsi tastes better when it's flat than Coke does. Pepsi flat is better than Coke flat.
Yeah. We should just sell it like that.
Do you want a flat drink? Come to Pepsi. It tastes flat anyway. It's not really that, like...
Oh, and Rojon's taken out more of the bollards. Vettel tried to overtake. Sorry, back to the racing, obviously. Vettel tried to, has got past Grosjean. Grosjean cut the corner, but realising cutting the corner, right, then went back across the curbs to go round the bollard.
I'm just coming up to that. I'm on the final corner of the last lap.
Here we go. Vettel down the inside, turns in, gives and hits, and there's contact between him and Grosjean.
Right, I'm just coming up to it now.
I
don't like the bollard.
Banging the wheels. I do think Vettel could have given him a bit more space, but he went across the sausage curb because of it, then went back across it, realising he's got to go through the bollards.
Do you have you done Russia on?
I think for those instances, you shouldn't get penalised. But if you've completely missed it by going in too deep, trying to overtake, then you've got to go through the bollards because, in those circumstances, it's virtually impossible to cut the corner and not go through the bollards. And go
make
through
contact. The rear wheel of Vettel hits the front wheel.
But you see, he had to go back across the sausage curbs again to then make the bollard. And I think in those instances, you should be allowed to at least drive, to at least just carry on. I think if you completely missed it, then you should be allowed to. If you completely
Hamilton is gaining a lot. Oh, he is. Oh my God!
Whilst we also be talking about Coke as well, Hamilton is gradually and there's a virtual safety car.
Oh my God!
That's not good.
Oh, I've got no internet.
Good.
Great.
No, it doesn't. Because of the amount of debris from the bollards being taken out 3-4 times, they've now got to go out and clear it.
Oh, great.
But they're ending it straight away. But yeah, and just to correct Mom, right? Virtual safety car means they keep the same gap. A safety car is where they bunch together.
Well, they don't have to keep the same gap. They have to.
Yeah, they
keep
do
within,
because
like,
because they have to do the same time.
No, I know they've got a delta, but they have to
Yeah,
get
they've got a
as close
delta,
to
and they've got
zero
to
as
match the
possible.
delta. So when they match the delta, they basically match the same gap.
I know, but they might not match the delta. Like they might, like someone might get an advantage or something. Because if you go over that delta,
Maybe if you're on a certain corner, if someone's on a corner and you're on a straight, when it ends, sorry, then yes.
Definitely not when it starts, because if you're in a corner when it starts, you've got an advantage. Because if you lose time on that straight, because of the virtual safety car, like you
But
brake
anyway,
really hard. Anyway,
virtual safety car's ended. Hamilton is 8 seconds behind Verstappen.
I think he's gonna get it, the overtake.
No, he's not 3 seconds behind him on interval. That means interval between each driver.
Or I think that.
And he's now down to 7.4 seconds.
I think that if he get, you know what I'm thinking? You know, in Monza, Sainz almost got Gasly. I think that few seconds in the virtual safety car might save Verstappen from getting overtaken, because they have to keep the same gap because they're like on the delta. So it might have actually just saved him if they get it like really close by the last lap, actually.
Now lost the pits, he had to go through traffic.
But also, Verstappen is gaining very slightly on Bottas.
Yeah, but I think that's Bottas more managing it, to be honest. I think if Bottas wanted to up the pace, he could.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. Hamilton's going to win the championship. He will get the Schumacher record and beat it probably by the end of the season.
Yeah, he'll beat by the end of the season. He would have beaten Schumacher's record.
You know, I'm kind of happy because if he beat him at the Nürburgring at Schumacher's home race,
he can't. He can only equal it.
No, I know, but if he won today, that would have been really bad. Yeah, that he beat him in Germany.
A lot of bad luck would have to come to Verstappen and Bottas.
And also, obviously, Schumacher was in that accident, and he's he's still in quite bad condition. However many years on.
No, he's okay for now. He's just unfortunately got certain brain damage.
Yeah, I know, but like it's difficult for him, isn't it? Like,
unfortunately, not a bit of. I only get statements of how he is because he keeps most of it private to himself.
Well, it's hard for Mick, isn't it? Because he's had to keep all of this quiet.
Yeah, but he's always kept his private life and F1 famous priority sort of life separate. Right, so, and he's always made a thing about that, keeping it separate from him, from everyone.
My worry is that Vettel or Hamilton or any driver who's done successful is going to just have like an accident or something, because obviously Senna was probably one of the best drivers of all time. Is one of the best drivers of all time. He died in an accident.
Fangio didn't.
Yeah, but
Norris, hang on, Norris is hassled by Albon in a minute. Albon tried to make a move round the long turn 4, and is now trying to go round him on turn 7.
Oh, come on.
Still can't get past. And Gasly's getting involved as well.
I hope
And
Gasly has a good
unfortunately,
fight with Albon.
Gasly's now side by side with Albon. Squeezes
Come on.
him to the wall. And now Gasly's going to have a run on him down the main straight, coming towards turn 13.
This is a fairly good...
Because he's dropped such a gap, he didn't get DRS Albon. And Gasly's got through into 10th place.
What a fight.
Right. Great move there. Gasly watched the fight between Albon and Norris, picked his moment, and punished Albon for being too aggressive.
And being a Red Bull driver. I think
Albon not recognising the danger behind, right, too concentrated on getting Norris up front, that he was out of position for turn for turn 12 and turn for by turn 12 he was in such a state in terms of positioning that Gasly was going to have him down the straight towards turn 13. So Gasly now up to 10th. Norris still holds 9th. But I'm sure Gasly's going to catch Norris and probably get 9th from him.
I think that
Kvyat, though, is 25 seconds ahead of Norris in 8th.
I think Gasly would have been...
And I think, I'll just say as well, Hamilton, I think his charge is over in terms of Verstappen. Okay. He's 10 seconds behind now with, 7 laps to go?
Yeah. I think that, 7 laps. 6 laps.
And Norris being hassled by Kvyat, by Gasly. Gasly didn't get it round the turn 13 chicane. Norris is struggling. He is struggling on his tyres. Kvyat, I keep saying Kvyat. Gasly, on the other optimum strategy, is making use of these tyres. Obviously, as a British fan, I would want Norris to stay in front. But I'm sure you're a big Gasly fan yourself.
Yes.
But he's going to get him down the straight. I have met Norris as well back in 2019 at the British Grand Prix, but he's not going to get past him. What's that?
Grosjean is under investigation.
Grosjean, whilst in the middle of that, Grosjean has just come up as being under investigation, I believe, but there's no marker on the timer. I don't know whether he is or not, but
race control have said no further action. That's what.
No further action. Right. So
yeah,
thank you.
It's because you were in front and you were focusing on something else.
Because I was in the middle of talking through the Gasly and Norris battle. Right. Just
Gasly.
One second. So, Norris locking up there.
You're a bit quiet.
Look. Have I?
Better. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, Norris has had to box. His tyres are gone.
Oh, no. Well, he had time. He had enough time.
Yeah. But I think he's had those tyres on from lap 1, I believe. So,
oh, really?
I think so. But he could get fastest lap here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what they're going for because...
Well, no, he can't go for
he wouldn't have been in the points anyway.
He can't because, as you just said, he'd be in the he'd be at the points. So there's no point in trying to go for it.
I think that's a silly rule. You have to be in the points to get a point for fastest
lap. No, I think so because...
it's tactical.
No, it's because otherwise No, because otherwise you'll see it's to stop everyone from 10th downwards boxing all at the last minute.
Yeah,
right?
but like,
No,
I
it's
think
to stop everyone boxing at the last minute because it will cause carnage in the pit lane.
it should be
Right?
like
Because it would, yeah, but it would make the pit lane dangerous at the end of the race.
Yes, but I think they should do it like if you're in a certain window, not like the top 10, like the top 10 have like 10 seconds.
I'd have to disagree on that one. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Verstappen's gaining so much on
Yeah,
Bottas.
he's now down to 7 seconds of Verstappen's the fastest lap.
Oh, come on.
I
Verstappen
do
is
think
just pushing.
I do think Bottas will have it though.
Yeah, but it's 4 laps, you know, anything can happen. Or this can be close.
Those bollards again, and I mean, look, the Haas misses the chicane again, Grosjean. And those bollards, I'm sorry, they are too close to that bloody wall. Science has just proven that. They are too close to the wall.
Yeah, but what if Bottas hits one of those, gets a 5-second penalty, and then Verstappen
I doubt it, to be honest.
Oh, but I wish. Honestly, I'm a Red Bull and Red Bull and AlphaTauri, and I like Vettel because obviously he was at Red Bull for so long.
I like Vettel because he's a very fair, competitive driver. Right, you can see the respect between him and Hamilton. Right, whereas Hamilton's tried to be the same towards Verstappen, but Verstappen's just basically not listened.
Who do you think the drivers of the day is? Who do you think the driver of the day is?
Driver of the day. That's a good one.
Perez, maybe? He's up in P4.
Perez done well.
Maybe one of the Renaults.
Renaults were,
I mean, not really driver of the day, maybe the weekend, but
I mean, let me have a look at the start. It really depends on the starting grid.
Yeah.
Right. Let me have a look at this. The starting grid.
So Lewis, then Verstappen, then Valtteri, then Perez, then Ricciardo, then Carlos, then Esteban. So apart from Leclerc, that's pretty much the same. Oh, Leclerc moved up from 10th to 6th, but Sainz was out, that's why. Norris 8th, definitely not him. Gasly 9th, he stayed 9th. Kvyat started 11th, he's now 8th. Stroll. Where's Stroll? He's out, isn't he? Yeah.
So yeah,
George Russell. God, no. Albon, maybe. He started P15, didn't he, Albon?
Yeah, Albon started 10th, actually. Well, yeah, started 15th, sorry, yeah, because of the penalty.
Yeah.
I don't think that's enough, to be honest. I think
maybe, actually, Kvyat, maybe.
Kvyat's a good shout from 12th to 8th.
Or Hamilton, obviously, because he had to make up a few positions.
That is a point, because Hamilton's had to do a lot of work today. But then I wouldn't give it to someone who's been penalised for such a stupid error.
Yeah, but he served his 10-second penalty, didn't he?
But I think it's just
Bottas.
I'm not going to give it to him.
Bit.
That's
Bottas
stupidity.
Is sped up a bit. Red Bull's just lapped a Ferrari.
What's that?
The Red Bull's just lapped I think the Red Bull's just lapped a Ferrari.
Yeah, Verstappen's lapping Vettel.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh no!
I remember those days
I'm
when
not
I was
surprised.
Winning at Red Bull.
Oh, that's probably why science. Even science has come out and that's why science has come out and said how worried he is about joining Ferrari.
Oh, okay. Gasly just about got Verstappen, and then it was Bottas who's got it.
Yeah, for me, my driver of the
It's either
day.
Gasly or Kvyat. Gasly or Kvyat both did very well. I mean, less so Gasly.
Giovinazzi's done well.
Let's see where he started.
17th to 11th.
And where is he? That's in an Alpha.
Yeah.
Maybe if he got into the points.
How far is he up from the points? He's 15 seconds behind. Looks like it's going to Verstappen, but what's he actually done? This is what winds me up with driver of the day. Someone give me a variable reason why Verstappen has done enough to be driver of the day compared to some other drivers. Because you've got people like Giovinazzi that have fought their way up to 11th, right?
Two free positions though. No. Yeah.
Right.
No, there were 2 or 3 positions.
You've got Kvyat going from 12th to 9th. Verstappen started second. He's now second. He's done nothing all Grand Prix. Apart from
yeah. Leclerc,
he's done nothing. Someone hasn't done a lot, has he?
Leclerc did well. Yeah.
Leclerc, I believe, has done them. I think Leclerc should get it.
Are you gonna vote?
Leclerc.
If you vote,
I'll give it to Charles Leclerc. He's come from 11th in a disappointing Ferrari to 6th. At one point, he was second, obviously before he stopped.
Yeah.
Right, but he's fought his way up to 6th position. Whereas Vettel has started 15th and gone only up to 13th.
Yeah.
But Verstappen's done nothing. He hasn't applied any pressure to Bottas. He hasn't had to race Hamilton for a second race because of Hamilton's penalties. So someone give me a justifiable reason. He didn't get a great start at all. So what the hell? Why is he getting driver of the day?
Well, I think if you look at it, it was 30. The latest poll was 13% Verstappen, 10%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it was very
all the
small
time.
numbers.
It's Verstappen. It's because it's the whole of as Bottas wins.
Everyone Dutch fan just does it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, Bottas wins in the end.
Yes.
Max Verstappen second. Hamilton, what looked like could have been a desperate Grand Prix, has recovered it to 3rd place. But really, with the pace he had, he should have won it at a please. But anyway, yeah, so brilliant result for Bottas, just what he needed. Hamilton has lost it, but hang on, Kvyat, he's going to try and have a lunge at Ricciardo at the last corner.
Oh my God,
But I think, no, it's Ocon, sorry, but Ocon's just holding on. He's going to hold on. He is. And hang on, someone's got a penalty for not following race.
Would that be Ricciardo? Possibly.
No, it isn't. I'm sorry. Hang on, I can rewind it and go back. Alexander Albon. So does he finish 11th?
Oh, then Giovinazzi must be the driver of the day. Giovinazzi must be the driver. No, he won't. No, he won't.
No, I think
it's only 5 seconds.
I think Leclerc's driver of the day for me.
Yeah, but I think Verstappen's going to get it as always.
Yeah, and I think that's stupid.
Right. I had a point to make, and
I'm sorry if people actually the driver of the day should be about the person who's done the best drive to be able to get the best position, and improve on the position they've done from the start of the race, and what they've managed to do. Verstappen has gone from second to second. He is not pressurized. Yeah, there it goes, driver of the day. He is not pressurized Bottas in any way. He has never looked a threat in any way.
I get that.
And the only reason Hamilton's behind him is because of a penalty.
Yeah, but Hamilton's picked a few penalties up this year, and to be honest,
yeah, apparently I've just received word from the radio from my mum and the fiance or whatnot. Listen to the radio. Apparently they've said that if he gets one more penalty,
super license,
he could face that it could get a ban on his super license of a race.
Yes, honestly, I would like that's what I've just read, and I think that they need to be super careful, and I think that would really.
That's why it was just so stupid. Why are you doing it?
6 points if you get fastest lap and win. So if Bottas gets that, he's gained.
You know, like AFTV do hand roll of the week, right? You know, like AFTV on their Bias Premier League show, they do hand roll of the week, right? Lewis Hamilton the week, right? Yes, he recovered it to third, but Hamilton is ham roll of the week because that violation was stupid. There was no need for it, and like you said, he's now got to be careful. But yeah, in the end, your top three: Bottas first, Verstappen second, Hamilton third. My driver of the day would be Leclerc, right? Given of what he's done, managing to get to 11th and 6th. Not Verstappen for just starting second and finishing second and not looking at threat, as like the official driver of the day has been voted for. But yeah, it's like I was just saying there, Marcus. You know, AFTV on their Bias Premier League show, they do hand roll of the week.
I don't watch that, so I don't know what that is.
Well, troops, like when someone's been like poor, like or over like the football weekend, like whoever's been like the most poorest, like performing person, they give them like the hand roll, is like hand roll of the week.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well, Lewis's hand roll of the week.
I honestly, if he gets that penalty, it's going to close up right up because let's say Bottas wins. Let's say he doesn't get the fastest lap. Let's say he gets 25 points.
I think Hamilton will. To be honest, so I do think Hamilton, like they'll be looking at that. I think after the debrief, like they'll learn from that and they'll come back. I wouldn't say that they'll I don't think there'll be another penalty. Right, I think they will be careful from now on.
I'm so gutted though that it's so like Hamilton.
Yeah,
hasn't had a good year and he's still winning. Hamilton's
right. Look, I would give him Max Verstappen driver of the day if he had got a good start, stayed either second or something, got to the end of the race and won it by beating Hamilton on the track fair and square, or Bottas on the track fair and square, right? Or really pressurising to force Bottas into a mistake and making the strategy work.
Imagine if Hamilton got that penalty and he didn't qualify into Q1 yesterday. It would have been an absolute disaster.
Yeah, but that's
but he might have done so well. He might have got driver of the day because he had such good drive.
In the end, they don't care about driver of the day. No. Look, to be honest, I've seen Hamilton. Yeah, the only time I've seen Hamilton get that sort of recognition from doing that is Germany 2018. But yeah. Anyway, that ends my stream for today. Thank you, Marcus, for coming on. Great to have you on as always.
Football tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, football tomorrow evening. Thanks to everyone who has tuned in and watched us. I'll be back tomorrow with another watch along for the Arsenal Liverpool game. There will also be the Hot Off the Press show on Wednesday evening, and then on Thursday there will be another watch along as Liverpool take on Arsenal again, but this time in the Carabao Cup, and again it will be at Anfield like last season. So will there be another thriller of 5-5 or 4-4 and 5-4 on penalties? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yes, hopefully I'll be in won't too tired from tomorrow because I'll have to go down to London to a hospital appointment. But yeah, but until then, stay safe, everyone. Stay well, and yeah, we'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.